the greatest gbogbo gbagba gbogbo aluta continue. All oppressors, they go.
Can you say you are assaulting me? Can you say I'm being assaulted? But don't talk. I'm not distracted. I'm not distracted. They can't block my ears that way.
Shut it down now. 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 Shut it down now! Shut it down now! Shut it down now! Shut it down now!
Abdullahi Kabir!
Shut it down now!
Abdullahi Abubakar!
Shut it down now! Shut it down now! Shut it down now!
Kumao!
Shut it down now!
Senator Juka Dauda Liru!
Shut it down now!
Senator Bokuchawa Damo!
Shut it down now! Freedom! 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 Today, we have been able to show the world that
social media be. What are we saying? Shut it down now. What are we demanding?
Patriotic gathering of fellow compatriots at this point in time in our national lives. Our country is in short demand of courageous men and women who will see what is wrong and call it by its name.
Absolutely.
We are at a time where fear, where the love for personal safety has taken over the place of patriotism and duty to country. We are gathered here because we want to stand for our country at these trying times. We know that all is not well. At all. We know that we look and we sound as if we have been overpowered and outnumbered and outgunned by the government that should be at the mercy of the people, by a legislature that should have that should aggregate the interests of the common man. The legislature, naturally, is supposed to be our representatives. But I know that this legislature is not representing me. Absolutely. Neither is it representing Henry Shield. Neither is it representing Comrade Dario. Neither is it representing Comrade Dixon. Neither is it representing Comrade Ralph. And several other people who are here. Whether we like it or not, we are faced with two obnoxious bills. The anti-social media bill and the hate speech bill. These bills are completely out of place. They have no place in a democracy. And whether anybody likes it or not, this is taking tyranny to the next level. Yes. And Nigerians must condemn it. Nigerians must not condone it. Yes. These bills have no place in our laws, in our nation, because the Cybercrime Act of 2015 has already aptly, captured the provisions of these bills in its entirety. Yes. Section 24. Go and read section. We want to draw the attention of the National Assembly, both the red chamber and the green chamber, to the provision of section 24 of the Cybercrime Act of 2015. That section of the act of the National Assembly has expressly, captured all the provisions that the social media bill and the hate speech bill, ought to capture. So we believe that it's an overreach and an overkill, and that this will only land the country in deep troubles. And that is the reason why we are gathered here to protest and ask that these two obnoxious bills be shut down by the 9th Senate. Unfortunately for the 9th Senate, the 9th Senate has a very bad image. An image of a rubber stamp legislature, an image that is further, impugned upon by the statements of Senator Ahmed Lawal when he said, and I quote, that whatever the president wants, the National Assembly will graciously grant him such prayers. Such a statement has no place in a constitutional democracy where there's clear separation of powers. The National Assembly is an independent arm of government. It should not be a department in the presidential villa.
True.
The National Assembly cannot be a rubber stamp. The National Assembly cannot be a rubber stamp to the presidency. It is unhealthy in a democracy that the National Assembly will rubber stamp every bill, every desire, every wishes of the president. We are gradually seeing a situation in our country where, if not properly checked, that the National Assembly will become the #1 enemy of the Nigerian people. Yes. And whether we like it or not, any bill that seeks to regulate social media, go and check all over the world where it is being done. Whether it be Uganda, whether it be in Singapore, where they expressly copy the bill from, even including the mistakes in the bill. Wherever it is, whether it's Uganda where internet is shut down at the will of the president, who determines what is hate speech? Who determines what is love speech?
Exactly.
Allow the provision of the Constitution in Section 39. Because the Constitution is the ground norm, is the supreme law of the country. And all other secondary legislations are subject to the Constitution. Allow the Constitution to prevail. We even defer to the Cybercrime Act of 2015. We defer to it. But the Constitution is too supreme ahead of the Cybercrime Act. Because any time that any provision of the Cybercrime Act violates any constitutional provision, the Constitution has already said it in its inconsistency clause, that such a law will be nullified and it will be inconsistent to the level of its inconsistency. So whether anybody likes it or not, this bill is obnoxious, this bill is anti-democratic, and this bill is tyrannical. That is the reason why we are gathered. At this point in time, I'd like to call on Comrade Ario to speak. After Comrade Ario speaks, then Comrade Shid will speak, then Comrade Raf and others will speak before we proceed. Thank you.
By proti of the executive. And we have come here today just for them to understand that we are very peaceful people. We are peaceful Nigerians, peaceful protesters. But I don't think that they should allow this to degenerate to a level that will start picketing their homes. Because Nigerians can do it. They should not test the resolve of Nigerians. The 9th National Assembly should not test the resolve of Nigerians. We are not protesting against your stealing. We are not protesting against the way you are reckless. We are not protesting against some of these obnoxious things you are doing. Nigerians, we sit down jeje in our social media space. We sit down jeje tweeting. We sit down jeje, operating our Facebook page. But you waka from inside the corridor of the National Assembly. And you say you want to invade the last hold of the common man. We are rejecting it, and they should not drive a lot of people under the cover. Let Nigeria exercise their fundamental right. And finally, we want to say, when you go abroad, shop for developmental bills. When you go abroad, shop for bills that can solve healthcare problems, that can address our roads, bills that can address corruption, bills that can address environmental degradation, bills that can serve the interests of the common man. Don't go abroad to go and be borrowing obnoxious and satanic and wicked and draconian bills. So we are saying no to the social media bill and no to the SPH bill, including the third one that they are afraid of bringing, the NGO bill. No to NGO bill.
Okay, how do you want to be addressed?
My name is Ario Dari Atoyi. I'm a co-convener of the No to the Social Media Bill. I'm a co-convener of Center for Liberty in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Please, last one. Do you think these bills have anything to do with President Buhari's agenda?
Where is the bill for our roads to be constructed? Where is the bill for employment? Where is the bill for millions of citizens roaming the streets without jobs? Where is the bill for good health service delivery? Where is the bill to fight insecurity? Where is the bill stopping them from kidnapping our people on the highways? Where are these bills? In Nigeria, with all the litany of problems bedeviling this country today, all the problems facing this country today, the only thing that this National Assembly has chosen to focus on is to shut the citizens down. Number one, he marks them out as totally irresponsible and cut off from the feelings on the street.
Clearly.
The people of Nigeria cannot be going through this pain, and the only thing you are concerned about is to shut them down. If we don't want this democracy, let us say we don't want it anymore. There is no need pretending to be in a democracy and people cannot talk. Let's not deceive ourselves.
Exactly.
We fought Abacha. We will fight this government.
Yes.
We are not begging. We are not appealing. We stood against a despot, a dictator in the person of General Sani Abacha. In this country, we stood against him. We survived Abacha. We will survive Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
And this is just a starter. This is just a starter. How would a court release someone, a citizen of this country, and an individual, because you are DG or whatever, or you are something, no matter who you are, if a magistrate court gives an order against Donald Trump, he will obey it.
Yes.
No matter how stupid the court order is, he will do what?
Obey it.
Why? Because that is what says you are a democracy. It is
Preach
not in the place of the executive, it is not in the place of the DSS, it is not in the place of anybody to decide when to obey a court order or not. Now, let me explain what the hate speech bill and their anti-social media thing is about. It's all about third term. Those of you who don't know, you should hear it today. Once they bring these bills, if they are able to pass this bill, and God will not let them pass it.
They will not.
If they pass this bill, they will, after the bill, they will now throw the third term debacle into the public space. If you talk, they will use the bill to jail you.
Or hang you.
We will not take it. So, for our own country, and this isn't just about us, because these elderly people have already wasted our own generation.
Yes.
We are fighting for our children.
Yes.
They should not grow up in a country where a president will choose when to obey court order or not.
Yes.
We should not hand over to our children the kind of country these elderly people have handed over to us. Where instead of us discussing the millions of employment since 2015, in 2019, we are here to discuss freedom for people. We are here to discuss basic human rights. Our mates, look at Ghana, our juniors, they are already producing phones here in Africa. Their roads are better. Good healthcare. People can ask questions. We come here in Nigeria, if we are not discussing herdsmen, we are discussing kidnappers. Today we are discussing freedom of speech. This is not
Want to run away. Greatest Nigerian people. Greatest of the greatest.
How about we send it to us?
Shut it down now. Senator Emmanuel. Shut it down now. Senator Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf. Shut it down now. Senator Issa Shuaibu Lawal. Shut it down now. Senator Ahmed Lawal. Shut it down now. President Ahmed Lawal. Shut it down now. Senate Gaidaf